Hey guys, it's Robj here. Today's video is sponsored by Ant Keeping Depot. So, I have some really interesting news. So you remember my Camponotus Nicobarensis colony? They need a new nest in Outworld. And they need it quite badly. And if you want to watch update 6, you'll get a bit more of the story. But WaKooshi came to the rescue. They reached out and said that they've got a new line of Outworlds coming out. Do I want them to make a larger, custom-sized version of it? And some nests for the Nico ants. And I'm like, that'd be extremely nice. Let's do this. So, they've sent it in 2 parts. I have the Outworld first, following up with the nest. But both of them are going to be huge upgrades. So WaKooshi has definitely come to the rescue here and offered to make me a Outworld big enough that it's an actual upgrade. If you don't know who WaKooshi is, it's various different bits and bobs from live ants, 3D printed nests. They have it. So my plans is to decorate it. Now, before I get into the decorating, you can see what products I've pieced together from various different sources from my collection of decorating materials. One of the most useful tools for today will be a mini hot glue gun. You can glue in the artificial plants where they're not being held up by anything. And the reason I'm going down the gluing route is because I'm using loose sand. And to explain why I'm using loose sand over grouting a permanent layer in is because of what species I'm dealing with. I have found the Nicobarensis waste byproduct, or their dead, all their rubbish basically. It's very sticky. It's always like a secretion of a sugary substance. It's like a thick glue when you try and pick up their waste. It's not dry in any shape or manner. So, because of this, if I give them a grouted Outworld, it would be impossible to keep clean. So, for the last couple of years, I've had them on loose sand, and this is ideal because it sticks to the sand and you hoover it out and then you replace the sand in the spots. The actual enclosure doesn't get messy, and it's been a godsend. So I have no intention of changing it, so we have to go loose sand as a quality of life management and cleaning. It's the way to go with this particular colony of mine. So that's why I'm using hot glue, because you can get this effect where they are placed around, standing up, but they're not falling over. Or if you balance them up with rocks and stuff like that, one tap or knock, or you cleaning in the tank, doesn't knock them all over. So soon I become to the realization that I haven't got enough sand, and due to what's going on, I'm having to wait on new sand. It was enough to give it a thin layer across the board. I had 5 bags, and if you're wondering, this is aquarium sand. I've had this for many years. I buy a large bag in bulk, I portion it out, and then it actually goes into storage. And I've had like this is the last few bags of a huge one I bought a few years ago. So this sand has been used in pretty much most of my Outworlds, as well as when you clean the Outworlds, you put about a half a bag to a bag in after a cleaning. So as you can see, I got a good layer in, but I'm going to need some more. So I have ordered some more, but it's going to take a little while. But it's really quite handy. I did even learn like when you're tipping it in to go around the plants and that, you tip it all over the plants and then you get sand all in your leaves. Well, because they're glued in and they're nice and sturdy, you can actually bend them back and flick them, like flick the plant forwards and backwards, and it'll flick its own sand off. And that's one of the little things that I've come up with. So as far as decoration goes, we've got to keep it realistic, and I don't want to concentrate it too much. You see the middle column supports? Well, I am not putting any plants around there, because this Outworld actually comes with a new feature that's being launched in their range of smaller versions of this. It's like attachments for the middle pillars. And these attachments, I haven't actually seen them, but they range from platforms, feeding areas, to water feeders that can be hung up. So I'm hoping when I get to see them and that I can have their feeding area halfway up, so they have to climb up, and as well as their water maybe, or a second water source, or something along these lines. But I thought that was a fantastic idea, and in a large Outworld like mine, I've got 2 supports, so I can have, like, the ants are going to be climbing up, getting all their foods and that, their jellies, and the Outworld is large enough that the ants aren't going to be congregating out there because the nest is overcrowded, because the nest is also getting a size up, which will be the next video, hopefully, as long as Royal Mail deliver it all on time. If you're wondering what I'm using here, this is actual model grass tufts. You can get them from any modelling equipment stores, and they're really nice for adding a touch of colour. But I have been using these for a number of years as well, and I can tell you that these tufts don't work for all ants. I've had ants pluck them until there's nothing left. I've had plants nick the flowers off the tops, and the Nico leave them alone, and then I've had some that bury them. So for this particular species, they will leave them alone, they won't pluck them, and they will actually do the aesthetic job. But if you're interested in grabbing something, that's cool, nice little stick on grass, just be aware that your ants might have other plans for it. It might be a nesting material. It's not like I've tried them with every ant I've had. So here is my finished product. Apart from some more sand, this is what I'm going to go with. Now I've been thinking about backgrounds, but getting a background to this custom size is a bit awkward. So I'm thinking I'm going to have to find a background from some stock footage or something online, buy it, and then pay for it to be printed in a custom photo size, a bit like I did with the Ants Australia Outworld build. But there's no way I can't give this a background, something this cool. It's got to have a cool background to go with it. So that's what I'm thinking. I'm going to keep my eye out on other things. I did think about aquarium backgrounds and stuff like that, but there's not going to be one that makes too much sense. And I was thinking, what about like bearded dragon backgrounds? Surely there's a rock background. So I'm going to keep an eye out for something that would be able to be cut down to this size, or I can have something printed in this size. But this is the overall finished product, and I cannot wait. I can't say it enough that I cannot wait to see what my ants make of this. They're gonna get this and a new nest in the same day, and I think it's gonna be amazing for them, and I'm gonna record every minute of it so you guys can see how they get on. Hope you've enjoyed today's video, and if you could give the like button a good smash for me, let me know you've enjoyed the content. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.